Welcome to sixth module of electric drive course. In this module, we will be studying synchronous motor drives. Moving into the next slides, please refer the synchronous motors. For that, we can refer the textbook Fundamentals of Electrical Drives by Gopal K. Dubey. Synchronous motors are working in synchronous speed. So if a sudden load disturbance comes, the transient can occur. So in that case, it should remain in synchronism. It should not go outside the synchronism. It should be able to remain in the synchronous speed of the synchronous motor. Now let us see the steady state limit of synchronous motor. So we know this equation, torque of the motor is equal to Tmax into sine delta, where Tmax is equal to 3 VE by XS into omega ms, where V is the supply voltage to the motor, where E is the excitation EMF that is developed in the motor, and X is the reactance, synchronous reactance, and omega ms is the speed of the motor. And this delta is the angle between the V and E. So whenever this load torque slowly applied, the delta angle will increase. That is, this delta is a torque angle or a power angle. So this will increase, and when this reaches 90 degree, we get the maximum value. That is, we know delta angle delta is 0, sine 0 is 0. Whenever sine 90 is value is 1. So whenever its value increases beyond that, it will lose its synchronism. That machine can go out of the synchronism. So maximum load torque which the motor can withstand is the Tmax, which is known as the steady state limit of the synchronous motor. See the dynamic stability of the motor. If a low torque TL is applied suddenly, the motor may lose synchronism even if the load torque is less than the maximum torque, which is Tmax, that the motor can withstand. When the load torque is changed suddenly, whether the motor will retain synchronism or not can be determined by the examination of the dynamic behavior of synchronous motor. So now equation become T is equal to T max dash into sine delta, where T dash max is 3 VE dash by XS dash into omega ms. So in dynamic behavior of the motor, the torque balance equation of synchronous motor can be written as T is equal to TA plus TD plus TL, where TA is the acceleration torque, is a kj into d square delta by dt square, and this TD is a damping torque, which is a kd into d delta by dt. T is a load torque. So this equation, you can see this is a non-linear type differential equation. So this can be solved numerically to obtain the variation of the delta, the power angle delta with time, and thus ascertain the dynamic stability of the motor load system. Let us see a braking of synchronous motor. So there are two types of braking, the regenerative braking and dynamic braking. So you can see this is the speed torque characteristics of a motor with a fixed frequency. You can see we have only a single line because it is a synchronous machine, so it's only work at synchronous speed if frequency is fixed. So this is a maximum torque during motoring, and this is a max negative torque during the braking. So you can see here the braking can occur here at the maximum frequency is a synchronous speed. So the meaning is that the motor can work in regenerative braking mode only at the synchronous speed. If you go in only other uh, speed, it will not work. So therefore, the regenerative braking cannot be used for stopping or decelerating the load. The next type of braking is a dynamic braking. So dynamic braking is obtained by disconnecting stator from the source and connecting it to a three-phase resistor. So this resistor, so this is a basically braking resistor. So this machine work as a synchronous generator here, and the power and energy dissipated in this braking. The commonly used type synchronous motors are permanent magnet synchronous motor, that is PMSM. In the wound field type synchronous motor, we have DC field winding on the rotor. But in the case of PMSM motor, we have the permanent magnet on the rotor. So we have advantages and disadvantages here, which is shown over here. Based on the required magnetic field density in the rotor, the proper magnet material is chosen to make the rotor of permanent magnet synchronous motor. So there are basically two types of permanent magnets. They are ferrite magnets and rare alloy magnets. The basics of the both permanent magnets are shown here. The classification of PMSM is based on its rotor construction. In projectile magnetic type PMSM, the magnets are placed on the rotor core with epoxy glue here. You can see it is placed over here. So this is a simple construction, but is not very robust, which cannot be used for high speed application because due to high centrifugal force of the magnet. The second one is the insert magnetic type PMSM. Here the magnets placed under the surface of the rotor core. We can see these rotors are under the surface. So more robust compared to projecting magnetic type. Compared to the previous one, this is the more robust. This interior permanent magnet motors. Here the magnets are not on surface but buried inside the rotor. It is very robust and used in high speed applications, which is used in automobile and traction applications. Synchronous motor variable speed drives. Frequency control of synchronous motor. So we know that the synchronous speed is directly proportional to frequency. That is, if you want to vary the speed, you just vary the frequency. So therefore, the motor speed can be varied by varying the frequency. As in the case of induction motor, or just like an induction motor, here also the constant flux operation, that is below the base speed, is achieved by operating the motor with a constant V by F ratio. This gives the operation at a constant maximum torque. For speed above the base speed, the machine operated at rated terminal voltage and variable frequency, and maximum torque decreases with increase in frequency. Now let us see the modes of variable frequency control of synchronous motor. There are two modes here. The first one, the true synchronous mode, or open loop control mode, or separate control mode. The second one is the self-control mode. True synchronous mode basically is an open loop type mode. So the supply frequency is controlled from an independent oscillator. The frequency from initial to the desired value is changed gradually so that the difference between synchronous speed and the rotor speed is always small. It aids rotor to track changes in speed. So when the desired synchronous speed is reached, the rotor pull into the step after hunting oscillations. The variable frequency control not only allows the speed control, it also can be used for smooth starting and braking. let us see the control of multiple synchronous mode. Here the drives are operated in true synchronous mode. So here we have a frequency command F star is applied to a voltage source inverter through a delay element so that rotor speed is able to track changes in the frequency. The basic block diagram of this is kept in the next slide. The flux control block changes the stator voltage with the frequency to maintain a constant flux below the rate speed and a constant terminal voltage above the rated speed. Used for the control of multiple synchronous motor in fiber spinning, textile, paper mills where accurate speed tracking between motors is required. The figure shows basic block diagram of the variable frequency control of multiple synchronous motor. So this is an open loop type control. So you can see this is a frequency from an independent oscillator. This is given to the voltage source inverter via its delay element, and this frequency is given to a flux control, and flux control output is a V star, so voltage reference. So this is control, the flux control will be controlling the voltage based on this above the base speed or below the base speed, and this firing angle will decide what should be the voltage of average value voltage to be produced at the input of the VSI, and the VSI will be controlling the synchronous motors here. Method is self-control mode. So in this method, the stator supply frequency and rotor speed can be kept constant. Basically, this is a closed loop operation. So this self-control method can be realized by making the stator supply voltage to track the frequency of the induced voltage. Or we can go for other method, that is sensors can be mounted on the stator to track the rotor position, or we can say the rotor position sensors can be used. The frequency of signals generated by these sensors is proportional to the rotor speed. Hence, the stator supply frequency can be made to track the frequency of these signals. Now, let us see the self-controlled synchronous motor drive employing load commutator inverter. In large power drives, the wound field type synchronous motors are employed. Here it shows the wound field type synchronous motor drive. For medium applications, medium power application, we can go for permanent magnet synchronous motors. So here we can see we have two type of converters: source side converter and the load side converter. So here this source side converter or a line side converter can be operated with firing angle between 0 and 90 degree. As a rectifier, that is AC is converted into the DC, then the DC is converted into the AC using this line side converter with the firing angle of this load side converter keeping angle between 90 and 180 degree. That is power flow can go from source side to the load side. So here firing angle is between 0 and 90 degree. Here firing angle is between 90 and 180 degree. Similarly, we can reverse the power flow. That is keeping the firing angle of load side converter between 0 and 90 degree. So it will act as a rectifier and can keep the firing angle between 90 and 180 degree of the source side converter. It will act as a line commutator inverter. That is, power flow can be flow from the load side source side. So this is related to our is applicable to our regenerative braking. And this load side type converter can be commutated using the induced voltage of the synchronous motor. So it is known as the load commutation. So in the motor, the induced voltages are produced. That using that voltage, we can commute these thyristors. So it is known as the load commutation. This slide shows the explanation of the previous block diagram. So here we can see the magnitude of torque that depends upon the VDS minus VDL. VDS is the voltage across source side converter, and VDL is a voltage across load side converter. The speed can be changed by control of this line side or source side converter firing angles. In order to make the self-control operation of the circuit, we can control the firing angles of the load side converter. Thank you. The Fundamentals of Electric Drives by Gopal K. Dubey is a reference textbook. These topics. Please refer these textbooks. Thank you.